Bangkok ChitChat Spotlight.
Hello, welcome along to another Bangkok ChitChat Spotlight. And before we go any further, I'd just like to thank everyone for subscribing. And if you haven't already, then if you could click that subscribe button, it'd be great, along with a like and share. On the sofa today, of course, my co-host Andrew Sloan and somebody else. Now, he's Australian, but we're not going to hold this against this gentleman.
Thank you for that. I'm so relieved.
Tune out. I can hear them tuning out from here. Been here forever. He's produced TV programmes and magazines, hosted talk shows for Channel 3 as well as radio. He's written more than 20 books, some bestsellers in the Thai language. Has a Thai degree, the first for a Farang, and has won many awards, some never having been won by a Farang before. And it goes on. This is the best. In 2008, Thais voted him one of the coolest bald men around. Would you please welcome journalist, teacher, author and TV and radio host, goodness me, Andrew Biggs.
Very nice to see you,
Oh, it's
Andrew.
lovely
Hello,
to see you.
Andrew.
Thank you so much for coming along. We're going to talk about your present venture.
I'd like to qualify one thing before we do.
You're not Australian.
No. About the coolest bald man in Thailand. I actually came second to Suthithai Yun, who was a very famous journalist here
Yes,
in
the
Thailand,
name
and
rings a
my
bell.
old boss at the Nation
right. Yes,
newspaper.
right, yes. Of course he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that, I was number 2, and was I disappointed? Not really, because number 3 was Bruce Willis.
Oh, right. So you beat Bruce Willis.
I beat Bruce
well, there we go. We're going to talk about your English learning website for Thais.
Great.
This is one of the reasons why you're here. But first,
Great.
a little bit of background about you. You've been here, as I say, forever. When did you arrive?
I arrived on Valentine's Day in 1989, which means that this year is my 30th. I celebrate 30 years in Thailand. Mm-hmm. I was here for 2 days.
How old were you?
I was 6 years. I was hardly crawling at the time. Do I have to answer
Nicely
that?
avoided. Nicely avoided. No, and we're not cutting it either.
I was a young green journalist on the way to London, to England, to work, because I was a journalist in Australia. And
So that was your career?
my career was journalism. I was a reporter and a feature writer, and actually read the news as well. Just before I left to go to travel, I was a radio newsreader as well. Okay. And Rupert Murdoch bought the Queensland, the Courier Mail where I worked, and we were at the same time. He bought the Times of London and the Sun.
Yes.
Wapping,
yes.
moved it to Wapping,
Yes.
right, in London. So we were able to get jobs there easily.
Oh, okay.
We just had to call and say, "Have you got something going?" And I did, and they said, "Yeah, come on over." So I laid plans for 2 years in London, working, and would come back to Australia.
Quite a way to travel.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to, Australians, you don't get this because,
We're not Australian.
Europeans, yes. Australia's so far away from everything else. We just want to go, we got to get out. Oh, it's great. It's fantastic, but
Just a walkabout, yeah?
it's a walkabout. Yes, that's so politically incorrect in these modern times. But you're right, Andrew. So I found the cheapest ticket possible to go to London. It was Thai Airways, and they forced me to stay here for 2 nights on the way over. And I did, and I got here, and I intended to just read a book in the hotel. I bought Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, I remember. It was a very popular book.
I remember that.
Do you remember
yeah,
that, Andrew?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I decided I would sit in my hotel room and just read that and nothing else. But once I got here and arrived at Don Mueang and was just blown away by everything. And
Really?
thought, wow, this is an interesting culture, from Australia, where the white Australia history is 200 years, and here it's 1,000. It's like I couldn't quite fathom that. So I went out and had a look at the Grand Palace and decided to extend my stay to 2 weeks and then 2 months.
But what would they say in London? You're going across London to take a job and you say, I'll go, be 2 weeks.
He found a lady in Thailand.
No, they said to me, just call when you get here, because back then, in those days, a lot of the papers, well, of course, Murdoch's were run by Australians, Australian journos, and they said, just call us when you get here and we'll give you a sub-editing job, right? So it was very, and the running joke is, I wonder if my position is still there 30 years later. I don't think the papers are going to be there very
Well,
soon.
I can tell you something. If you'd stayed, you might have been on Fox.
Yeah, that's right. I'd be espousing all sorts of, right wing.
So 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months.
2 months. I had to leave
syndrome.
after 2 months, and I actually flew to London. And it was interesting because in those 2 months in Thailand, I backpacked around, travelled the whole country, didn't speak any Thai, and had such a great time. And back then, of course, we didn't have mobile phones, so I would call my mum and say, "Oh, I'm in Udon Thani," and my mother was freaking out because she said, "Get out of Southeast Asia, go to the breast of Mother England." She would say that every time, right? And then when I finally left, I called her at Don Mueang Airport saying, I'm leaving after 2 months. Didn't have a problem in Thailand at all. And she goes, "Oh, thank God, and call me when you get to London," and all this. So I got to London, stayed with friends near Brixton, and on the 5th night I was there, he got broken into, and I lost everything. My traveller's checks, my
Welcome to
camera,
Brixton.
and I called my mother saying, "I'm here in the breast of Mother
Yeah,
England.
and been
I've
done.
lost everything."
Wow.
Save me some money.
So you came back to Thailand, non-immigrant B visa, I guess, or what is your
No,
status now, by the way?
I'm a permanent resident.
Okay, I thought you might have been a Thai national.
No, I got my permanent residency a long time ago.
It was cheap. Yeah, it was 20,000.
25 I paid for
No,
mine.
I got it the year after. It jumped up to 200.
Yeah, I got it the year before. Literally the year before it went up for 25.
Yeah, that was a very painful. But anyway, I got it, and I thought about Thai citizenship. It's a lot of paperwork, and I'm kind of busy, so I just thought, I'll do it another time, and I never did.
Exactly the same as me.
Right.
Exactly the
Where in
same.
Queensland are you
Exactly the
from?
same.
I grew up in Brisbane. I'm born and
Right, okay.
bred in Brisbane, and then went down to Melbourne, worked in Melbourne and Sydney before I came here.
Right.
Well, getting back to script
Yeah.
here. So, you are one of the personalities that people know, both Falang and Thai. Falangs hate you and love you. They hate you for one reason only, because you speak such good Thai and
No,
Thai.
they hate me for my views, my opinions, my political jumping back and forth. They hate me because I'm a loudmouth. That's not the only reason.
That's how I never saw it. Okay, well, I'm glad you filled us in there. Yeah, no cutting on this, by the way. So,
I have a big problem with, particularly 10 years ago when I was doing morning TV, where if I went out at night time, and there would be a Western gentleman with a Thai woman around Sialom or something like that. And of course, the Thais knew me very well from the morning TV show.
you did that for 9 years, by the way. Didn't
Yes,
you?
I did. Yeah. And the girls would get really excited about seeing me and go, "Hi," and you'd see the stony faced look of the man thinking, "How does she know you?"
So how did you go about learning Thai? You hadn't studied languages before or anything like that, right? So you could only speak English or Australian. We can make the joke, but whatever. So Thai was a complete new alphabetical system. What do you call it? What do you call that when you're writing it? It's a what Thai? We have the
Translate.
we have the alphabet, don't we?
Well, they have the alphabet.
Yeah,
you can
but
call it
same
that.
thing.
Different,
but the different
it's different script.
script. That's right.
Squiggles. Yeah.
Different squiggles. Yeah.
Yeah, and long words. No. So, how did you go about learning Thai? Was it easy, or did you go to classes?
No,
Tell us about it.
It was a nightmare, and I always say that for the first year, and I always tell students that when I first came to Thailand, I had a really nice haircut, and then when I started learning ga 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 ga, it all fell out.
I can get through the guys ones actually, the chicken egg and all that. But so the first year frustrating, you would say.
It was. The reason I started learning was I thought, okay, I'll be here for 2 years. I should be. I was a little. I love the Thais. I love the Thai people, but I was confused by their behaviour sometimes.
Yeah. Characteristics.
And why do we make appointments we meet somebody for 3 o'clock and I get there at 3 and they get there at 5:45,
Without care in the world.
So I thought if I knew the language, I'd get to know them a lot
What
better.
makes them tick?
Yeah. Plus, about 30 years ago, not a huge amount of Thais spoke English. So it was better I got to know the language better to learn it. But I started off with the alphabet. I bought that book called The Fundamentals of the Thai Language.
I've got that.
I still think to this day it's the best one for learning, particularly for writing.
Do you find that when you're learning the language, it's easier to learn it when you can write it?
I probably did it the wrong way round.
Right.
But because I probably should have spent more time listening and trying to do it in a more natural way. But I jumped in and started at Gok-Gai in the alphabet and went straight through to Honokul through that book. But because Thai is tonal, you've got to sit down and, work out which consonant is high class, there's middle class, there's the dirty low class consonants. You've got to know all that because it actually is scientific. It's logical. It does explain.
So for the tones, I always referred back to the sound of some alien movie. Do 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 do.
Yeah. That's E.T., wasn't it?
No, it wasn't E.T. No, it was
the other one with the thing that's got.
Close Encounters.
Yeah. That's right.
So that's how I refer to it.
We can't remember half this stuff.
And when I learnt Thai, when I was learning Thai, I would just basically make a joke out of the tones. And really over-exaggerate it. And then you're in a taxi. My Thai is not great. But in a taxi or that sort of common situation, they say, "Oh, you're very clear."
Yes, that's
because I actually took the mickey out of the language. Not in a bad way, but over-exaggerated tones.
Right.
And that's how I learn.
People
I cannot read and write.
Oh, okay. But you got that book, The Fundamentals.
Yeah, because like everything else, you buy the book, but you don't do anything.
The Fundamentals breaks it up into every chapter is half conversation and then half reading and writing, and I thought the reading and writing was really good.
Well, hopefully we can show you a picture of this book if you've got it.
It's a purple cover now. It used to be black.
Yes, it used to be black. I've got the black one. Yeah.
Me too.
The hardback. Yeah.
Me too. I've still got it with all my funny writings in it that I did 30 years ago.
I must admit, I think when Thais write, they write very neatly, don't they?
They do, yes.
I've seen, my son when he was learning Thai as well. The way they teach from a young age with the lines, you got to, they train you, right?
Yeah.
And it's like.
And
You should be done with a quill, you know what I mean, sort of thing, right?
Yeah, and they actually have
brilliant.
Kids who get awards at school for the most beautiful writing, and it really is beautiful.
Isn't that got from Western society? If you look at people today when they're writing, they're all doctors. You can barely read it.
Look at my handwriting.
Because everyone types.
Yeah, there's not so much writing.
My daughter, her writing is absolutely beautiful.
Right.
She's 21. Yeah.
Okay.
So she's of youth, but the quality and the care is not there. It's like everything's like a post-it note.
Right.
How long did it take you before you could hold a conversation on your own?
I think that's a really good question, and one that I don't know. I think from the beginning, like once I learned to count from 1 to 10, and
all the food and drink. And
the important,
the important
please,
thing.
thank you. Where is the bathroom? Quickly, and stuff like that. I thought I knew it all, but to this day, I think the more I learnt, the more I realised that it was this gaping chasm of words that I would never know fully. But
working words, right?
Oh, yeah. But I think probably about 3 to 6 months, I was okay.
Okay, and then that got you, as you said just now, you started to see how the Thais ticked, as it were. Right. The culture came into it. So. And fitting in, right? So that all sort of came with learning the Thai language.
Yeah, I think I invested time in my first year or two in Thailand of learning that language. And, I always say I was the most boring Falang in Thailand there for a while because everyone was out at, Silom and Nana and
you were with your
Soy
book,
Cowboy, and I was sitting there writing 10 words that start with Sala. Not every night, but a lot of the time I was doing that, and I was by myself. And because of the work I was doing, I was always around Thais more than I was around foreigners.
Yeah, then me was opposite. I was always surrounded by English-speaking Thais, and
that makes a difference.
Yeah, and my wife fluent in English as well.
Right.
So I'm sure okay, what motivated you to want to stay in at night to do that, as opposed to going for drinking down Silom? Why did you want to learn the Thai language? What were you driven by?
I've always been somebody who, first of all, I'm very obsessive compulsive personality.
Okay.
But secondly, I'm also I'm very much a person who, if somebody tells me I can't do it, then I will I will,
That's a motivation.
by God, I'll get it
So
done.
you're obstinate then?
I'm probably a little bit obstinate. You've got to ask my staff then. I know how
Edgy
they'll
show,
answer.
edgy show. No, but that's
No,
a good thing. You
just-
stick by what you want to do.
I challenged myself. I
Yeah,
think, come on,
yeah.
it's in my life. I've done a few things that I've been very proud of that I did that people just said you couldn't do, and one of them was learning Thai. I was actually told by a Thai lady in my first month here that no, you'll never be able to write it in 6 months like you want, and just her saying that, I did.
Did you write her a few letters afterwards?
Well,
He wrote a couple of books.
that's right.
More than a couple of books, yeah.
I wrote
yeah,
20
yeah.
books to just to show her.
Yeah.
But do you find that with speaking Thai, two things. One is, I always find it very difficult when you're speaking to somebody and they start going to idioms. Yeah, they're using like we do, chicken and an egg, like something like that. But it's very difficult to pick up because they use an awful lot of idioms in the language to illustrate things.
Yeah. That just comes with experience. With the more you know it. I mean, once you've, it's the whole thing of like learning the words, comprehending them, and then being able to put them into a sentence, and then you move into the next level, which is analysis and critical thinking and all that sort of stuff, as in being able to give opinions and things like that. And once you hit that part of it, where it's no longer a translation, I don't know whether you.
I think it's Thai. When
you
I'm
get
speaking
to
to
it.
a Thai,
You when you speak Thai and you pick it up, you listen in Thai, and then you answer without translating in your head. That's when you're starting to get into the. That's where it gets where you'll start picking up things, and it's a lifelong thing. To this day, I say, what does that mean? What does that idiom mean?
Have you got
English?
Have you got around the Thai humour?
Yeah, no,
Because that's something as a
humour.
Falang not speaking Thai, totally I miss. So
Thais have a very wicked sense of humour in their own language, particularly playing with words. They do a lot of rude things.
it's always a
with
little bit
puns
rudy,
and-
isn't it?
It's
Like
gotta be a
nagliat
bit
is a
rude.
word that not nagliat.
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 Well, talung is the word. Talung is
Talung,
like
yeah.
cheeky.
Cheeky.
And they
Oh,
love
nagliat's
that.
more nasty. Talung is you cheeky little
Yes,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love their
Cheeky
humour.
little thing. Yeah, well, it sounds a little talung.
Yeah, it
it's like
sounds a
the
little
way
bit.
they say it. All right. So would you say then, right? You've got through this. You now understand Thais. You're more into the culture than you were. Did that then motivate you and push you in a certain direction career-wise?
Yeah, I think so, because very early in the piece, when I'd only been here about probably 4 or 5 years, maybe 4 or 5, when the Nation Weekender, which was a Thai magazine, came and saw me and said, could you write a column? And it was, you may remember this. Do you remember back in the early 90s, Longman Dictionary brought out a new dictionary which defined Bangkok as a city with lots of temples and prostitutes.
Yes, remember that.
And it caused a huge stink, a big stink.
All the books taken out of Asia books.
They wanted to
wanted
burn
them,
them and all that sort of stuff. And they asked me, they came up and saw me and said, could you write this from a Western point of view? So I wrote this column saying, yes, this definition is unfair, but look at it from a Westerner's point of view. The moment we get here at Don Mueang, somebody is asking me if I want to go on a Bangkok by night. This is back in the 90s. Bangkok by night. If I go to a hotel, somebody's asking me if I want to, if I want a girl. If I walk down Silom, and everywhere, the tuk-tuk driver, everyone is asking. So that's the perception
Yeah, they should
we
show you
have.
pictures. And do you want to go here? One
massage.
So they printed this column. Well, we'll talk about, being introduced to the media. Well, of course, the half of the people reading it absolutely vilified, hated me for saying that. And then, of course, there was the other half that said, yeah, he's right. We've got to fix it up. So, and then so that went in the thing. I thought it was just a one-off. And then the next week they come back saying, where's your column for this week? It's like, jeez. I mean, that column was only probably 1,000 words, but it was in Thai.
Yeah.
So I wrote it in English and then translated it as bad as I could. Then I gave it to one of my staff to fix it up.
But it seems to me
And that's how I got good at writing.
You're in
That's
perfect
all.
position to inform Falang and Thai, because Thais don't understand Falang. I mean, for sure, they get the wrong end of the stick sometimes.
Right.
They see, the tattoos, young girl on the arm, whatever.
Yeah.
They see that side of things more. And the Thais, so you can explain to both nationalities what the real
what's going
story
on.
is, what's going on. I mean, what a perfect situation to be in.
I don't know if I do know really what's going on at times. I've only been here 30 years. I think I need another 30 before I completely understand the Thais. But yeah, I kind of get what's going on.
Yeah.
That's what I was question going to ask is, do you feel now, after 30 years, that you're accepted more, you're going to be a Thai because you're Australian, but as a Thai because you're fluent? Or do you always feel that you're still the alien? Yeah? And
Oh, good
in that
question.
way,
Yeah.
It is a good question. I don't think I am an alien except when I walk through Suvarnabhumi
And get called one.
called one. And I love the fact that in Thai, the word for foreigner and alien is exactly the same except for one tone. It's Tang Dao, which is overseas. Sorry, Tang Dao is alien, and Tang Dao is a foreigner. So actually, by
Right.
calling us alien, I don't know. Anyway, I don't feel like an alien here at all, and it's definitely my home. I still love going home to Australia. Every time I go home, it's great. I have a ball, but it's kind of nice to come back.
You are
as well.
coming more back home when you come back to Thailand, you would say?
I always say, God knows what I'd do if I had to go back to Australia.
No,
now.
you're the same as me.
See, some people, when you have Thai friends, I've got Thai friends, but there's sometimes it's not quite as close. You always, it's like...
Well, because you can't understand them properly,
well,
and they
no,
can't
you know,
understand
even
you.
when they're fluent
Oh.
in English, it's not quite
Yeah.
the same. You don't feel part of. Yeah, it's like you're there, friendly, like, but it's not the sort of same relationship
one
you
of
have in
them.
the pub with your
You're not
mate.
one of
who
them.
We probably have it.
Yeah, you
Acceptance, I
know.
suppose, with you know.
I think in my life, and I'm sure with yours too, people come in and out of it, right? You have people who are very close for a while, disappear, come back, or have a fight and never see them again.
Get arrested.
Yeah, they get arrested, die. But it's the same with the Thais, and I do understand where you're coming from on that. I think, yes, I do feel. There's still a cultural divide between
Yeah.
who I
Bit
am.
of a gap.
Just because
and
you weren't born a
Thailand.
Thai.
Because I wasn't born here.
And yeah, exactly. That's what I feel. That's a
But
very
I
good
love,
question.
I love hanging out with the Thais. It's
Oh, and
always
yeah.
Yes,
fun
so do I,
and,
Yeah, I mean, some people say, "Oh, Thais, when they get drunk, they go red and they fight and all that."
Well,
That's
what
the same
about
as-
what about the Brits? for
That's
God's sake?
exactly. So there's. I try to explain every time. There's so many Thais. I married into a Thai family. They're middle class, and they were just like my family at home.
Yeah,
the
well,
mum
That's what I
and dad
find with
were
my
exactly the
wife
same.
and her family. Really, really sort of close. There'll always be a little bit of gap because of communication.
Yeah.
But really close. But it was just a question, because you speak fluent Thai, you can read, write. Yeah. And you understand the different idioms, and you're mixing through business every day. You'll talk business in Thai. Yeah. That maybe there's more you feel more part of it than maybe somebody who wasn't. As fluent.
Yeah, I think your point was a good one with that. In that, the more you're here, the more you realise that there's far more similarities than there are differences. But then now and again, something will just come out of left field and hit you, like, oh man, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But I think generally we're much more similar than we are different.
Totally, because you look at things like don't touch someone's head. Who the hell's going to go and touch somebody's head?
Yeah.
Don't point your feet. Who's going to go and point their feet?
Yeah.
There's all these things that we're told don't do. When we say we have to respect. We don't do it anyway.
Yeah.
So there's an awful lot of similarities.
Okay.
Yes.
Taking shoes off your feet.
Fellas, back to the script.
Okay, all right. Blah, blah, blah.
No, I mean, very good points. And
Yeah, it is a good
point. One thing I did want to pick up with you, because it's also in your sort of resume and stuff. 1996 was a big year for you, because is that when you worked for Channel 3 and went on TV?
No, that was 1998, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
I've got
96.
in my head, not written down, so it
I
probably
think it was
1998.
1998 because it was the year I had the #1 selling book that came out.
Yes,
for
you did.
months and months, and it was right when the economy crashed.
It's 97. Yeah.
Was that 97, 98,
97, yeah.
isn't it?
97.
7, was it? All right, 7, sorry. And it crashed, and I just didn't see a royalty.
On your bestseller.
I was #1
Oh,
with a bullet, but without a bank account.
But I mean, come on, you went on to I mean, your TV program, what was it called on Channel 3?
Talk of the Town.
Talk of the Town, that's right. 9 years? Was
Yeah.
that live?
The last, no, it wasn't. It's funny because they changed the format in the morning. It went live, and I had to do a live segment for the last part of that. But the show, Talk of the Town, was pre-recorded for 9 years. I'm sure that was 98, but anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he
So
says
the crash was
98.
97, but maybe you did that in 98. Because it went on for a while, because it took
Yeah.
about 5 years for recovery. Yeah?
Maybe his book
Yeah.
caused the crash.
Yeah, everyone's shocked seeing this big ugly.
You misunderstood my
foreigner.
writing.
So
TV.
I mean, I was going to go into the awards you've won, but, you know, it's going to be a bit monotonous. You've won loads. You must have a cabinet full of these shiny things.
Not at all. In fact,
That's why your resume looks.
In fact, I was cleaning out my computer room where I have my computer at home and found one of them there. I thought, I wondered where that one got to. And
Oh, but they're pretty prestigious.
You have
You've
it on the
won one.
wall,
You've won one.
on the corridor or something like that. Like,
no, not at all.
That's
but
how I
I'm very-
imagined it.
I'm very proud that people would think to give that to
Yes.
me. It's thrilled, of course, and it makes you think, wow, because I don't think that I'm perfect. I'm definitely not perfect in Thai.
if you're perfect, it'd be boring.
But that's what a lot of people send me messages and tell me, actually.
What?
But,
Boring?
If you're perfect, there's nothing more boring than perfect.
So what was your most recent award? Was that recent? I can't remember what it was for, but it sounded really prestigious.
It was I was for excellent speaker of Thai language by the Thai government. Something like that.
Stop there. That's big enough. There
were a group of us. We're like ambassadors for the Thai language. There were like 15 of us, and I was the foreigner, the only foreigner.
So, I mean, 20
wonderful.
books, this is all backed up why you got the awards in Thai. I wish we had more time to talk about it, but I think we have to sort of get up to present now. And you've got a project that is brand new. I mean, in its infancy for sure. English learning website for Thais, andrewbiggs.com ABC.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about it?
Well, we just started it a couple of months ago. It's brand new. We've spent the last year doing it, just doing videos, and more videos. But it's a website for Thais to learn English without having to travel to a school or, it's videos and quizzes and things like that. It's perfect for anyone who perhaps may have a Thai partner who is not great at English or wants to improve. Because at my school, I also have a school, we get a lot of Westerners bringing their Thai girlfriends or boyfriends in and saying, can you help? And the part of this of ABC is answering that. So the whole idea that you can just sign up, and it's very cheap. It's $3,999 a year, but at the moment we've got it at $2,999 as an opening thing for a whole year, and you've got like 600 videos for general conversation.
Well, it's tutorials. What do you call it? That sounds boring, isn't it? Tutorial.
No, they're not tutorials. Well, the grammar part is, yes. Yeah. There are 90 episodes just on grammar, but for communication, for general conversation, that's just me teaching with funny little things on a green screen, and it's very relaxed. It's kind of entertaining, and if you're interested, check it out.
Absolutely, and we'll talk about it on future programs. I'm going to have to cut this short in a moment because we're just running out of time, which is great because we would love to have you back.
Yeah, I'd love to come back.
We've missed up so much.
It's the first time in my life there's been 3 Andrews in a row.
Yeah, I thought I'd let you mention that one.
It's like stereo Andrews. I've got left
What was
and
the
right
band? Andrews
speaker.
Sisters or something like that.
The Andrew Sisters. Oh, trust you to mention that. I don't think one of them was bald from what I remember.
We've got a couple. We've got a minute or so left, so I'm going to put in my questions.
Yeah.
With all that's gone on, with you're well known in Thailand. Yeah. Obviously, you're probably overseas as well. Yeah. You're known. Yeah.
Only the Thais. I went to Hollywood, and I was living in Hollywood for 3 months in 2010, and went to the farmer's market, and these Thais got so excited because they saw me, and they taking my photo, and they said, "We came to Hollywood to look for stars, and we found one."
And he's one of our own.
And everyone around's going, "Who the hell is that bald guy? Who is he?"
So how has it affected you? Well, I don't mean just internally. I mean, obviously you respect yourself, but
ego-wise, we all have egos.
You walk in somewhere and everyone says, "Oh, there's."
No, I had big problems with it when it started. When I first did Channel 3 and was recognised everywhere. I have to admit that for a little while there, I didn't like it at all.
Uncomfortable.
I would stay at home. I couldn't go out on the weekends, and then I kind of accepted it. I just thought, stuff this. This comes with the territory, you know.
Yeah, you're more academic. Academia was your thing as opposed to entertainment, celebrity status, right?
I think you're pretty entertaining myself. But
Oh, you've definitely got rid of the academic bit.
But I'm fine with it. I'm perfectly okay with it now. I used to have, I don't like having everyone looking at me, or I didn't like having everyone looking at me all the time. And you can only, it's very hard to explain if you've never experienced yourself, but it is very off-putting for me. But then after a while you get used to it, you actually don't start looking at people anymore. Like if I'm walking through if I'm at Chatuchak and I used to love checking out people, I don't do that anymore.
Yes, for autographs and things like that. Is
Yeah.
Thailand an autograph sort of
no,
place?
they want selfies and photos.
I haven't spoken to one person. I haven't spoken to one person that doesn't know Andrew Biggs. Mind you, I've only spoken to 2 people, but that.
And one of them was my mother.
No, seriously, everybody knows it. When I was on IBC, I had my own programs, and I noticed that because I was on the radio, but no one knows your face. When I was there, a few people did, and I must admit, I loved it.
Okay. No, it's great.
I loved it.
I find
It's
that
great
now.
if you want a good seat in a restaurant or something, and you know that sort of thing. It's very good for that.
But that actually helped build up your name, your reputation. They
Yeah,
put that
yeah,
on
no.
Facebook. I'm with Andrew Biggs, so it's all basically marketing as well.
Of course it is, and I don't regret it at all, and I'm fine with it now. I'm perfectly okay with it.
Well, before we say goodbye, just don't forget andrewbiggs.com. That's one. It's an English learning website for Thais. And I'm going to put you on the spot, and I hope you're going to say yes. Could you now say in Thai that you've had a lovely time? No, I'm going to put words in your mouth.
God, because I'm going to put something like,
Yeah, exactly.
This part's
So,
Like, subscribe.
I know already here, mate, to do. Yeah. And don't forget to like and to ask people to subscribe, like and share.
This program.
This Bangkok ChitChat.
Okay, Bangkok ChitChat นะสำหรับท่านสำหรับคนไทยที่กำลังชมอยู่นะครับอย่าลืมกดไลค์กดแชร์นะครับแล้วก็สมัครเป็นสมาชิกด้วยครับจะได้รู้เรื่องเกี่ยวกับความคิดของชาวต่างชาติในประเทศไทยครับ
Andrew.
We're going to record that.
It's been a pleasure.
Just repeat it.
Yeah, can you come on every week? It's been a pleasure, mate. Thanks so much for joining
Thanks
us.
for having me.
That's been fun. Okay, what he said in English, don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and we'll be back on Bangkok ChitChat soon, basically. Yes. Bye-bye from him, and bye-bye from me, and bye-bye.
And me.
It's the 3 A's.
Bye-bye.
Triple A. Bye-bye.
Triple A.
Bye-bye.